All right. Welcome to episode 2 of Dinner for Two. Tonight, I have a very special reservation with our local postal worker and co-host of Cold Sweats podcast, Scott Hancox. Thanks for joining me, Scott.
Thanks for having me.
What are you having for dinner tonight? What did you bring?
This is courtesy of TJ Spurgeon.
Oh, nice. Cheese balls. I have a carrot
That look like
and a beef stick, a spicy beef stick.
they both look like penises.
I eat strictly penis-shaped food. Do you know this?
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you haven't watched our first episode where I had Wilson with me, what Dinner for Two is we're just gonna shoot the shit a little bit, talk about some things that we may think about, but not really. A lot of people don't talk about, and see where we go. All these shows are live, so keep that in mind going in. I'm not going to edit these at all because that just sounds like a lot of work. So
This is actually streaming right now.
Oh yeah, we're live. We're live on YouTube.
Oh God.
Yeah, I know it's a lot of pressure. It's a lot of pressure.
Too much pressure.
Yeah. Did you watch the first episode?
No. Probably should.
How dare you? Well, anyway, I told Wilson, the people that I invited before him. So I wanted you to know that before I asked you, I did try to get a Sinbad. He was busy.
Solid.
I tried to get Shaq. He said that he couldn't get away from work. I said, Shaq, you make your own schedule. You can do what you want. But he said no. I don't know. We're not on speaking terms right now.
I don't. I'd be a little offended.
Yeah. Well, I tried to get John Goodman again. I tried to get him on the last episode too, but he's a hard man to get a hold of. Tell you what.
No, I think I've spoken to him once in the last 2 years or so. He just never picks up.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what's going on with that guy, but
Point.
here we are, and I'm glad that you were able to make time. I know you're gonna go watch the Golden Globes tonight, right?
That's the plan.
Yep. Do you have any bold predictions before we get started or anything?
I have no idea what's even going on in them.
No.
Nope.
I think
Nope.
I don't know what the statute of limitations are on the Golden Globes, but I think it's about time that Ernest earns an award for something. You know who I'm talking about?
It was very well deserving, and I'm surprised it hasn't yet.
Yeah, I think this might be the year. I really do.
Should be.
My favorite Ernest movie was Ernest Scared Stupid.
Isn't Ernest Goes West another good one?
I'm sure. Yeah, he's got all of them. He's multifaceted. I mean, he's you can talk about the DiCaprios and all that, but I mean, really the benchmark is Ernest.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Either their basing criteria is compared to him. Let's see what they do.
Right. Yeah, that's a given. And finally, before we get started, great debate. Are you a sitter or a stander?
I'm a stander.
Okay. All right.
I don't understand the sitting. I after the conversation you guys had last week, and it just blows my mind that people actually do that.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy. If you haven't watched episode 1, Wilson and I had a lengthy debate about whether you should sit or stand to wipe. It's a thing now. I'm taking my own poll of all of my guests to see who it comes out on top. So we're 2-1 right now for standers.
So to expand on that, does the toilet paper go over or under the roll?
Oh, over.
Okay.
Oh, that's a given.
We're good.
Yeah, that's a given. If you
agree, I've got something.
If you put it under, you're a monster.
Exactly. I tried to tell her that. I've tried to tell her, and she keeps doing it. It's just not great.
Yeah, no, that's a less than desirable situation that you're in right there.
I know.
All right, so let's get into it, and this might hit a little close to home considering some of the events that happened today, but I wanted to talk a little bit about sports and maybe even some jinxes.
No, I don't want to do sports today.
I know Scott is a fan of the Vikings, and they just lost by 1 point to the Seahawks. I know it's tough, but I wanted to get you while you were in this mind frame.
Somehow I knew you were gonna pull something like this up, and it's just so depressing.
And this is more what I want to talk about. So I want you to see if you have any stories where you can relate to this. So I was at the gym today, and they just have the TVs on, and you can't really change them, whatever. So bowling was on.
Not a bad choice.
Yeah, so I was running on the treadmill and watching a little bit of bowling, and at the gym. I like to people watch at the gym. Obviously, that's what you go there for. You don't go to work out. You go there to people watch. But every time that I would look back at the screen, they would not bowl a strike. I knew that they were bowling strikes because I'd look away and I'd look back and I'd see strikes in their frames. But I literally, when I was actually watching, I never saw a strike bowled.
So what you're saying is that by you looking at the TV, you cursed those bowlers.
I felt like I was jinxing them.
Okay.
Has anything like this ever happened to you?
There have been many, and it's usually Vikings football games.
Yeah.
That I won't be watching, and they're winning, and I'll turn the game on, and they immediately start sucking. Like unbelievably, they shouldn't even be winning this game. They didn't show up today, but they won the entire first half of the game, and then I turn the game on, and they're like, "Oh, he's watching. We can't win today."
You feel personally responsible, don't you?
I do. A lot of the time because I like to root for teams that don't have a history of winning.
Right.
And they end up losing, and I always feel personally responsible for turning the game on.
Yeah, I felt bad. Like it was like a championship bowling match, and I'm like, I'm ruining these guys' day by watching this.
Did you happen to turn the Vikings game on when they were kicking that last field goal? Is that what happened today?
I'm not gonna say one way or another. I'm not gonna say.
Out.
Sorry. So whenever, like when you do watch games, do you have any superstitions or things that you do for good luck?
Not really. No, I don't take superstitions all that far. If I'm playing in them, sure, I might do a couple things. Like if you're playing baseball, you always jump over the first baseline. If you're leading, you got to do that. That's part of the history of the game. But otherwise, no, I don't really have any special clothes I have to wear or sit in a certain spot.
I don't typically, which is okay. So this is what I think is maybe this is not that weird, but I think it's weird about myself. Is that I enjoy watching sports, but I don't have any. The only team that I'm really a diehard for is North Carolina basketball.
Yeah.
So I if I watch those games, I'll get visibly upset. But any other game, I just am there more as a spectator, just to kind of take in the whole thing rather than to root for anybody. If I'm like that, I typically root for the underdog. But so I don't really have anything that I do either like that.
And see, maybe that's the problem is maybe because we're not doing something we should be doing. That's why they're losing.
What
if I had sat in a different spot today and won that game?
Exactly. So maybe we should come up with something. Let's do an experiment.
Okay. Well, I can't. I've got to wait quite a while for the Vikings to play another football game.
That's true. But baseball's right around the corner.
Yeah, but I don't really watch baseball. I'll watch some of the end of season games in the postseason, but other than that, I just don't really watch a lot of baseball.
So you're not going to intently watch another sporting event until football season starts for you again.
I will watch golf tournaments on TV if that counts.
You root for somebody?
Not really, no.
Well, that doesn't work either.
But no, I don't. I mean, I'll watch some Cyclones basketball games coming up, maybe. Maybe.
No.
If they're losing, I'm not going to.
So let's think of something. Like the lucky underwear, maybe, or maybe you don't wear underwear.
Maybe I shouldn't wear underwear.
Maybe.
I think I'm going to try that.
I think that's a good one. Maybe maybe eating certain foods.
Maybe cheese balls are the way to go.
Cheese balls. You can try cheese balls. Maybe have maybe like lobster. Maybe if you eat lobster while you're watching the game.
I'm not a big fan of seafood, so I think I'll have some lobster.
But if you want somebody to win bad enough,
I don't think I want anybody to win that bad.
you gotta do what you gotta do.
It's got to be like Super Bowl on the line. You have to eat this 50 pounds of lobster, and they're going to win. And maybe. What if next football season, if somebody comes up to you, you find a bottle of Coors Light, and you rub it, and out comes the beer genie, Huh.
and he tells you that if you eat literal shit, if you eat a pile of shit, the Vikings will go undefeated and win the Super Bowl.
Are we talking like somebody else's shit or my own shit? Or is it an animal?
Let's go either one. Are you trying to say that you would eat your own shit but not somebody else's shit?
I think the shit wouldn't be as bad if they were like a very healthy and flavorful eater. So maybe it's still got some of the nutrients and good tasting in it. So
okay.
Cameron's very healthy, Wilson, but
so you will only eat organic shit.
Huh?
You're saying that you'll only eat organic shit.
No, because I don't think I can handle Cameron's because there's too many nuts and shit in it, and probably some fluids and stuff that we don't want to talk about live.
But if it's somebody that is healthy like that and gets a lot of fiber, it's not going to be like liquid. You're not going to have to drink it.
Yeah, but it should be a fairly substantial shit, but not too chewy, so you can get it down quick and just call it over. Maybe. I don't know. I've never had to check the consistency of shit before.
No, me neither. I would imagine. I wouldn't want diarrhea. Like I feel like drinking it would be worse than eating it.
Would it? Because you wouldn't have to chew it. Just plug your nose and pound it.
I still think I want solid.
So you want the shit to roll around in your mouth while you're chewing?
No, I'm not saying I'm not gonna like hold it in my mouth like a fine wine and like try to get notes of corn or anything like that.
So if you've got liquid shit, you can just pour it down your throat hole and call it good.
I don't know, something about liquid shit just grosses me out. It gives me the heebie-jeebies.
But you're okay with solid shit.
I think between the two, if I had to choose, yeah.
Okay.
So you're gonna go with liquid.
See,
you're gonna go with diarrhea.
Maybe. It depends on if it's like that really thick syrupy stuff. That wouldn't be great. That would be awful. That would probably be the worst. But if you get that really, really runny, like after Taco Bell shit, maybe better than eating actual shit.
I don't know. The only thing that I do know is that this is a perfect conversation to have during dinner.
Oh yeah, those cheese balls are going down real good right now.
Now if you could just get them liquefied. You get those cheese balls liquefied.
I've got a blender upstairs. I'm sure I can get them down close enough.
Maybe add some Taco Bell. That wouldn't be bad. A taco with cheese balls?
I'd eat that. On that. That does not
I'd eat that. I'd eat it over shit. That's for sure.
I think we'd eat anything over shit.
Yeah,
But that's
I'd hope so.
back to the whole Vikings going undefeated and winning the Super
Okay.
Bowl. The second team in history to do that. That's pretty tempting. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm not sure I care about the Vikings that much that I would do it.
Really, and you call yourself a fan?
Would you do it for UNC to go undefeated and win the national championship?
I would want to see the shit that I'm going to eat and know how much I have to eat. That'd be the determining factor.
You got to
I
eat
think
an entire bowl full of shit,
a bowl full.
like a toilet bowl,
Oh, that's a big bowl.
and you got to eat that bowl.
I don't know that I'd be able to do that. Like,
Okay.
if it was the size of this carrot, I think I could. I would.
Like your average size turd.
Yeah, just like not too big, not too small. Just a medium sized turd.
Okay.
I think I would.
I think it'd be tough no matter how much you were eating.
No, it would be. I'd gag. I'd gag a lot. But I gotta do what I gotta do.
That's true.
It's
You
true.
want them to win that badly.
That's right. We're about halfway through. Do you wanna talk about what you want to talk about, or you want to keep talking about shit?
Like I mean, we're going to be talking about shit because I want to bring up politics,
Okay.
but I want to do it in a way where I'm not like pissing a bunch of people off, because it's not my intentions to tell you that your views are wrong or anything like that.
Well, here's the thing about politics is that whenever you bring it up and start talking about it, you're gonna piss everybody off, pretty much.
Somebody's going to get offended. That's absolutely true.
Yep.
But we'll touch on it real quick when we get back to funny stuff. The one thing I've seen lately with all the primaries coming up are the Republicans bashing Obama and everything for all the gun control that he's trying to push through.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm.
And if you were to ask a Republican like today, you walked up to somebody, and I want you to answer this as a Republican if you can. What is the greatest thing about this country?
I think everybody's initial answer is freedom.
And that's what I'm looking for. So I'll stop you there so you can't go any further. Because that's the biggest thing is all these Republicans preaching freedom, but at the same time, they want to tell you who you can and can't marry. They want to tell you if you can or cannot have an abortion. They want to tell you that you can't do certain things, but yet they still preach freedom as being one of the greatest things about this country. And I don't understand it. I can't wrap my mind around what their thought process is.
That's a very good point.
So that's the main thing that for the last week I've been like, seriously, please shut up. Just can this election be over with so I don't have to hear this anymore?
Lucky for you, you have a few more months.
Oh, it's so awful.
Yeah, we do this a lot on Cold Sweats, where we go into these serious topics. I think this is my main thing, and I think that a lot of people, if there is somebody that ran for president that had said this, I think a lot of people would like it. Is that you can do whatever you want to do to your own body.
Mm-hmm.
So if you there's always circumstances that you can bring up for everything, like abortion, like, oh, what if you're raped and whatever, and you can go back and forth all day long. So that's why I don't want to talk about it too much. But
Gee,
things. So I think at the end of the day, you have to leave it up to the person who it affects the most.
that's exactly right. And I'll put myself out there and say that I don't agree with abortion. I don't think it's a good thing to do. But who am I to tell you that you can't do that? Why do I have that control over somebody else? Or why should I have that control over somebody else?
Very true. You shouldn't.
It's It's supposed to be a free country, and I get that it's a bad thing. I do agree that it's not a good thing, but for some people, that's what they want to do, and I don't have the right to tell them no, you can't do that.
Right. Yep. Same thing with. It's tough with the gun control is a different thing, and it has its ins and outs, but
Right now, that is obviously the huge hot topic going on, and I do agree with some of the stuff that's come out with doing the background checks and the mental health checks. I don't see how that is a bad thing. I don't see why people are fighting it. I get that they don't like that the president did it without the authority of Congress and Senate, but they weren't doing anything. They had so many opportunities to put their foot down and say, all right, we need to do something. And instead of even saying that we needed to do something, they just didn't care. I don't know if they don't care. They don't want to do their jobs. They weren't doing anything. So I'm glad that a step has been made. It may not have been the best step in some people's minds, but something needs to change. Don't know how. I'm not a president. I'm not going to be a president. I never want to be. But something's got to go differently.
Jim Jeffries has a good bit on gun control. That it's the issue isn't as black and white as he puts it, but it's pretty funny if you want to check that out. He's a comedian from Australia who you can't have guns. And I also saw a lot of interesting facts that Neil deGrasse Tyson put on Twitter about gun deaths, which were very good. But yeah, again, I don't want to get into that stuff too much because really we're supposed to be having fun.
Yeah, we want to keep it light. I hated to bring it up, but it's just been irking me, and you offered to let me talk about something that's been annoying me. So
yeah,
that's the way it went.
The first rule of Dinner with Two is that you don't talk about dinner with two. That's it.
Game on.
Let's see. What else? We have like about 8 minutes. We can talk about something else.
What's new in Arizona?
Not a whole lot. I heard that it's a bit chilly in Iowa.
It's a tiddly bit chilly today. Let's see. My phone says right now at this moment it is 11 degrees.
Yeah, no, I'm not for that.
The wind's
It's like in the
blowing
50s here.
25, 30 mile an hour, so it feels like about -2. It's pretty rough.
Not about that life. Not about that life. It's like 50s here. I was out in a t-shirt and shorts earlier.
Must be nice.
Yeah. Here's something that I want to talk about. It's I'll tell them one of mine, and you try to think of one while I'm talking. About a pet peeve of yours.
Okay.
This is one that's really big of mine, and I don't know if it's weird or not. So you tell me. So you know how at Walmart they have the enter and the exit
Yep.
signs above the doors? One of my biggest pet peeves is people that don't follow the signs.
You would hate me then.
Why do you do this? You do it to be a rebel?
They open both ways. There's nobody coming. I'm going in whatever door is most convenient.
Think about the guy that spent so much time making those signs. They went to the effort of putting them up above the doors so people know which way to come in, which way to go out.
Worried about cutting costs? Maybe they should just not hire that guy.
Well, they did. They spent that money. It's done. It's over with. And people like you are just spitting in his face.
But I'm trying to prepare them for the future, where nobody obeys signs and we all go in whatever the fucking door we want to go in. And
The future is anarchy?
it's not anarchy. There's no need for a sign. Now, I do agree that if there's like a line coming in or out of a door, you use the correct door. But if there are two empty doors that nobody's standing in front of trying to get in or out, I'm going to use whatever door is closest to me.
You know what? That thinking, that's the beginning of the end. Just so you know. The other day I was coming out the exit door at Walmart, and this little punk kid came right in front of me and then proceeded to tell me how big of a rebel he was because he was coming in the exit. And I wanted to punch him right in the face.
Like he actually told you, it's like, look at me coming in the exit.
Yeah, he's like, oh, look at me, I'm a rebel. And I'm like, oh, God. Oh, I want to strangle you.
Did he interfere with your path in any way?
Yeah, I had to stop.
Okay, see, now that I agree is rude. That is completely rude.
Very.
Had he come to the door and completely stayed out of your way and not bothered you whatsoever, what's wrong with that?
I just picture that guy, the people that made the signs, that put the signs up, and they just sit outside of Walmart all day long and just watch people go in and out the wrong doors all day, and they just cry. They cry because their work is laughed at. People don't pay attention to it. They just walk right by it. That's their art.
He shouldn't have been hired to do it in the first place.
He was. That's what he does for a living.
But see, but we're trying to change the future so that
A future where people can go in and out any door that they want. That's not a future I want to live in.
how many places have one door to
A lot of places. Houses have one door usually in the front,
People come in and out of the same door all the time.
but they don't have signs that say enter and exit.
So you're saying if I put an exit sign on my front door to my house, you won't come in?
No, I'll try to find another way in. I'll break in a window if I have to, but I will not come in that exit sign.
But none of them are going to be labeled in.
That's all right. Hey, if there's no sign, then it's up for grabs. You can go in, you can go out, you can do whatever you want. You can hang out right in the middle, right in the doorway if you want, if there's no sign. But if it says exit, you better not fucking go in that door.
People just chilling in the middle of an exit or entrance, if it's not marked, just standing there blocking the whole thing.
This is why we need signs to tell us. People are stupid. I've said this forever.
So you have to have a sign that says don't block this entrance/exit, or else it's just an entrance, and then you can't go out of it, and then you have no way out.
I think technically it's just an extension of your house where people can just linger.
So, idea popped in my head.
Okay.
We need to start a bar.
Okay.
That follows your train of thought here. We have one door that says entrance. There is no door that says exit.
I see where you're going, and I like it.
We will make billions because we'll have to feed them. We'll have to charge them for showers. We'll have to give them lots of booze so they will forget that they're stuck in a bar for eternity.
I like it. I like where your head's at. What are we going to name it?
We have to keep having many, many children so that the bar can be passed down through family lines. Since nobody can exit, then we have
That's
to.
That's how it's done nowadays, anyway. Let's name it. How about the honey pot? Because we're just luring them right into our honey pot.
I could see that.
Yeah.
I'm not good with spitballing creative names, so you're gonna have to throw out like 4 or 5 before I come up with one.
Like the jail. What about the jail? Hotel California. You check in, but you can never check out.
I like it. I like where your head's at. That's a good.
A bar called Hotel California.
You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave.
That's right. Boom. $1 million idea. I like it.
Yep. We're gonna patent that shit before somebody else does.
Yep. Well, we are at 29 minutes. So let's wrap this thing up. I thank you for being on. My second
for inviting me to join you.
Second guest ever. You should. I mean,
Pretty good dinner for 2.
yeah, you're in elite company.
Cheese balls, carrots, and beef jerky.
Boom, boom. So if you haven't listened to the podcast, Cold Sweats, Scott and I are both co-hosts on that, along with our friend Jacob and Wilson, which I believe will be recording a new episode tomorrow night. I assume.
I think
I
that's
haven't heard otherwise.
I think that's the plan.
Watch episode 1 of this if you haven't. Let me know what you think. You got any plugs you got? You got?
I don't know of any plugs. Like Denver said, watch Cold Sweat. Other
Well,
than
you
that,
can't. You can. I don't know if you can watch it. You can put it on and listen to the audio and watch the device that it's playing out of.
you
But
can watch one episode of it.
oh, the chicken nugget episode.
Chicken Nugget episode.
You can. Subscribe. This show is on Cold Sweats Podcast YouTube channel. So subscribe to our YouTube channel.
We have 4 subscribers right now. I don't know if you knew that.
There we go. We're moving up in the world. So subscribe to our YouTube channel. Subscribe to Cold Sweats Podcast. Yeah. Thank you very much for watching and for listening to us rant about random things. And that's about it. So thank you. And don't forget to tip your server.